Alright, so we're just going to do a quick video about the different uses for display frames. So display frames are a DLC item, but you can get a similar effect with the item stands, but display frames mean that you can use them a little bit easier because they hang on the wall as opposed to as a block on the ground. So they work the same way. You can just add any item in and it will display. And so there are a few uses. Definitely storage is obviously one. I've used probably the maximum amount of cupboards here, but it just means that if I need any fish, food, blocks, they're not always clogging up my inventory. And the good thing about having seeds in not a chest means the villagers won't access them, which is good. So one of the other uses, but purely decorative, for this is restaurants. So like menus and things like that. So in my cafe, I have a nice menu there, and you just add the food items individually. And you can visit this island. There's a link down at the bottom of the description. If we go have a look as well, there is just another restaurant we can look at that I'm still building. But same idea. Again, it's obviously not like they're going to cook just those foods, but it is a very nice aesthetic. So the last use that I have for display frames, obviously you could come up with your own, is signposts. So now that this Buildertopia we're on is quite large, I have genuinely gotten turned around a few times and not sure where certain buildings are. So by doing display frames on chiseled blocks, I find it gives a nice effect to look like signposts. You kind of assume that the ones on either side of the light are going in that direction. And you can also mark your buildings with them if you like. So I've kind of got one side's the party pub and one side's a well-stocked pub. And so similar, you can see there I've got for the dancers room, I've got some heels, and for the cafe I've got a pizza. So if you want to build one just like this, you can always go to the island and blueprint it. But all it is 4 blocks high of the wooden fencing with a paper lantern on top, and then I use chiseled hardwood bricks. I think they look the nicest, and the great thing about the wooden fencing is because it's a block, it'll put out a little attachment so it doesn't look like it's floating. You'll need to stack them from the bottom. They won't just go directly across, but then you can just delete the bottom ones. And so I just go like that, delete the ones I don't need, and then you can hang your display frames and chisel them down, and you can do that in either order. You can chisel them first. You don't need to chisel them. I just think it gives a nice effect when you can see through the back. I've tried a few different effects with arrows pointing in those directions, but so far I haven't come up with anything I like. If you come up with anything like these signposts, please show me. I would love to see any sort of variations. Sometimes when you make something weird like that, you don't really think of all the other possibilities, so please do show me. But around here I've started actually filling in my signposts, so we can see there's a well room there, and over here we've got like a farm and a divination room and a bathing station. I've got my divination sign. So once I'm in the area, I don't really need the signs on the doors, but I think that adds a nice touch to have a matching sign on the door for what the signposts are, especially if you're inviting other people. It sort of just adds a little bit of continuity to the design. So that's all for this one. I'm going to be loading a few more up, but again, if there's anything you want to see, just let me know.